Hey, everybody. I took a look at Jim Carrey and I'm going to roll out the experience for you. This has been coming up pretty loudly. People are saying he's a clone, people are saying he's not himself. This is my experience of Jim Carrey, and it will shine a light, perhaps in its own authentic way, a different side of the message of what the meaning of all of this is. And I see more so an identity crisis than a fake person. But is an identity crisis the creation of a fake person in order to endure a human life? So the word authenticity is a key word, and you'll notice that at the end, it will all come together and make sense. All right, here we go. Stepping out into the universe here, going to take a look at the energies around Jim Carrey. I see a man who's sitting in the dark. It's interesting because I can see in black, his outline in black, okay? So he's sitting in the dark. You can still see him, but he's blending in with the shadow. And then I see these almost silvery streaks, they're minimal, but they're upon his form. So there's a bit of a shine to him somehow, but it's minimal shine, a shadow within the shadow, and it's Jim Carrey, okay? Something instantly sparks within my heart, and I'm angry at him. Abbey or influence? Influence is angry. I have to explore what that means. But first, I'm going to tell you there's this huge lightning bolt that tries to reach him. And the lightning bolt that's trying to reach him is to activate him or bring him back to life or pull him out of the shadow. Is he in a shadow inside of himself? Is he in the shadows of our world? Is he replaced fully by someone else who's choosing the light and he's choosing the shadow? Is it an identity crisis? I'm going to have to go along with the way the energy is communicating. So I'm standing outside of a bubble and he's inside of this bubble, and I put my hands on it and I'm pounding, and it's glass. You can't hear what I'm saying on the other side. So you can kind of tell there's some reverberation, and you can see that someone's pounding here to try to get his attention on the inside of this bubble that he's existing inside of the bubble, okay? The lightning bolt can't reach him. He's within the shadow. There's a sense of being really, really, really deep underwater. Really deep underwater. It's cozy down here. Underwater, in the dark of the abyss, underwater, swallowed up. There's a sense of it being very, very, very cozy down here. Very cozy down here. It just keeps saying that. It's nice, it's cozy down here. In the shadow, in the abyss, under the water, far, far, far away. And it mutes the sound of everything else upon the planet, so you could feel separation from the noise to find a quiet room or a quiet space in the dark, in the abyss. There's a tiny, tiny voice that comes from somewhere else. It's hard to pinpoint it, but it says, "Help me." Then there's this wretched darkness, and this wretched darkness is the barrier between the comfort of darkness and the tiny voice that says, "Help me." What I do is I absorb all that darkness inside myself. And it screams and it attacks and it is hitting, it's abusing, it's intense. It's the only life force that matters, is the struggle, is the pain. I just start laughing because it's so weak and pathetic. It's one thing that matters, but it's not everything. And there's this like Man, if I can make this louder, boom, I'd make it louder, but slap. All right, so this like cosmic pound, okay? And it literally is like a hit in the face. And I see Jim Carrey go flying in this abyss scene because the wretched protector is not available out there in the Jim Carrey world. I've contained it inside myself. And this pound to the face, and then flying over that way, is basically an announcement saying, wake up. But this little voice saying, help me, is also a manipulative thing too. Because you should only ever listen to your heart. There's a lot of influence that sounds like heart, conveniently, but is not heart. Getting hit by the cosmic punch, it just sprawled out, kind of drooling. Like nothing is really ever going to get through to him. Nothing's really going to activate, wake him up, or bring him out of this state. And I say, you too. Energy influence. There's a lot of layers going on here. In fact, it's quite possible that he's within a deep and complex place inside of himself. And what we are getting on the outside isn't really him, because the real him is deep down inside of himself. This is really on the cusp of, if you're wanting to separate yourself from reality, how do you do that? You could take a lot of drugs. This could be a drug-induced state. Or you could forget yourself to choose to be another self. While it's still the same you, it's really not you, because you're a projected version of another idea of who you really are. This is deep soul stuff here. I'm coming across. Deep soul stuff. And the Jim Carrey that's buried here does not want to come out of a coma type, drooling type, perhaps drug induced. It doesn't. I would parallel this to, if I go to someone and they're not there, it's not because their body's not there. Their body's there. They're not there. Where are they? Oh, they're on a mushroom trip. Oh, they're high, or they're somewhere else, okay? So that can also create this. Okay, there's another way I'm supposed to approach this now. I'm going to materialize him above the water. And I'm going to connect his feet to the planet, because the planet is a heart. And the heart of the planet and his human heart then activated and connected, coming back to life again. Just like a wandering soul. None of this is that easy. It's like taking someone who's had a lobotomy and then regrowing their brain and bringing them back to life. There's a lot of dark forces here. So is that the darkness, the evil of our planet? Or is that the darkness, the shadow within Jim Carrey? It's all connected. So whether it's the earth or it's Jim Carrey's me, it's a country, it's the past, it's the present, it's the future. It's all the same big kit and caboodle. And everything is always alive. There's no death. So I couldn't tell you, is Jim Carrey dead? Is Jim Carrey alive? What's this version of Jim Carrey? Is some grown in a lab representation? All things are alive. So the spirit of Jim Carrey, where is the spirit of Jim Carrey? So let me go search for that for a minute. The real spirit, the real vitality, the life force. Because all of us are also in heaven right now. But I'm still here, so how could I be in heaven? Because everything's part of the same kit and caboodle. I'm in heaven as much as I am here on earth, as much as I'm on some alien planet and some other body, some other time and place. It all comes back to this nucleus. And we're all part of the same nucleus. Okay, so let me see where he's at. Just another representation of himself, okay? Just keep saying, I don't want to be found. Leave me alone. And I just go and I give this part of him a big hug. And I say, kind of like, you want to be left alone, but by leaving you alone, you're under an abyss drooling. I, that sounds like one way and one way only. The wretched darkness is the only thing that is, was, and ever will be. That does not, that's an illusion that's speaking here. I actually want a hug. That perhaps you want authenticity. More than anything, you desire authenticity. So if you offer the world the lack of authenticity, yet you want to live in a world of authenticity, are you giving the world what the world's illusion says it wants? So are you just paralleling mirrors to a world that is lacking authenticity, therefore you too will lack authenticity? You need to be your authenticity. That's it. Because then you are yourself. That's your only identity. Embrace your role, embrace who you are, embrace authenticity. It's really a long road of rebuild here in the heart. It's not about the mind, it's about the heart. This is quite a complex journey. I mean, if you could see a single person or their soul or their energy field, you would discover an infinite building of floors and rooms and meanings. That people are not linear. They're not one, maybe two, maybe three. They're infinite math, especially when we're going through complex times complexity. it's words. It really shows. Because I'll keep running into another floor, more rooms of this, of the same. And so you crack those hardened shells and you grow out of those shells and put them behind yourself. So who are you in a new way? What floor of the infinite building are you on now? You are the building. So you are your dark and your light. But you have to choose balance. Otherwise, you are conforming to one side or another. And that comes with a lot of illusions. And that's kind of the beauty of being human, you know? And wholeness is heartness. So I'm not here to tell you, is he a clone? Is he dead and someone else is replacing him? I'm here to tell you that where I'm going when I visit Jim Carrey is a very dark place. And within the shadow, there's comfort there, but it's surrounded by the illusion of wretched darkness. So it's an imbalanced yin-yang energy. So it's an identity crisis energy. And everybody's noticing. Everybody sees that this is not Jim Carrey. What if this is Jim Carrey? But it's not the Jim Carrey we know and love. It's some other idea of himself. Have you ever put on a mask before? Have you ever tried on different costumes? Maybe you're not that kind of person. Then maybe it's part of self-discovery to do these things. Maybe it's exhaustion of living to do these things. Maybe it's wanting something or a way of life that you can't exactly have and creates these things. I'm choosing to see that Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey, and I'm guiding his profound essence. I'm showing him the pathway to being the whole building. And to reconnect with the planet, reconnect with his life force, reconnect with his body. And I'm not saying that's actually an easy journey. It feels very difficult. Very, very difficult. So I'm sending light. I'm sending the frequency of authenticity because I can only be myself. And maybe the deeper message here is, how are you being authentic today? How are you being your true self today? Are you wearing a mask? So that's what I've got. Thank you all so much for watching. Have an awesome day.